What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 18th recorded episode of the Everyday Hustle Show.
Yeah.
It's Andrew here. Got an exciting episode planned out for you guys tonight. Before we get into that, we got Christian. How you feeling, brother?
Feeling good, man. Just had some coffee in me, so now I'm woke.
He has some coffee in him, and now he's woke.
I'm almost 100% positive I used that phrase wrong, but that's okay.
Very millennial.
Oh, here's Jesse with his new beard.
Dude, my beard is really been putting smiles on my face, dude.
How are you feeling tonight other than your beard?
So it's good. You know?
That's all you've been talking about.
It was, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more into my beard than I've ever been into my own face.
That's good, dude. That's
You ever hear of the Dollar Beard Club?
Ooh.
I have, now
Why don't you sign up?
it never seemed,
Since you're all about getting promoted and
reachable.
Maybe you can join the
Dude,
beard club.
what am I saying? The beard, ever since I started growing the beard is when I started moving up in the world.
Yeah, I mean, people probably respect you and they think you're a man.
They think you're a man.
It makes them think I'm manly. It's
a good look, dude.
It's a friggin' legit look. What can I say?
I can't grow hair on the side of my face. So
You know what? It's kind of
Christian's beard looks like pubes.
I feel it's like a lot like what Christian went through when he went from short to long hair. Like, I always used to be like, dude, I would love to just have freaking luscious locks. And then I'm like, I'm going to grow my hair. I get to like the 2-month point. And it's that awkward stage where you're like, dude, I look like a wet pile of shit. I can't go on any longer with this. And then you give up and you get a haircut, It's kind of like that with the beard. Like, the first month was a little rough. Now I'm seeing some length. I'm seeing some fullness. And
dude, you're in.
I'm ready to freaking ride, dude.
Well, I mean, it's 420 right now. What do you guys think about 420?
What do I think? I used to love 420. Used to live for 420.
To love it?
Dude, I would freaking, I don't know. That was my way of life. It was like wake up, smoke weed, go to work, smoke weed, go to bed, smoke weed.
What did you do today when you woke up?
I freaking went to work, weed free. I didn't have a single thought about 420.
I didn't even realize it was 420 until like an hour ago, and that was like 7:30.
That used to be like the most celebrated holiday in my life.
Not for me, dude.
What do you think about it, Chris?
No, it was never a big deal for me.
3 years ago? Yeah, I would say 3 years ago was the last 420 I really, lived through. Well, yeah, I wasn't smoking weed in the last 2
Wait,
Aprils.
but hold on. Did you smoke more weed on 420 than you did every other day, or was it normal?
I mean, it was always pretty excessive, but 420 might have been like an excuse to go harder,
An extra blunt here or there?
Maybe. Very possible.
Nah, it was never that important. I mean, I smoked every day in the past too, but it was never...
Didn't matter what day it was, whether it was 317 or 515, you were just always smoking the devil's lettuce.
Dude,
I used to be like a smart kid too, and I think I smoked so much weed that I have residual fucking highness.
I mean, none of us really do drugs anymore now. Like when you see someone smoking weed or you smell weed, like, what do you guys think about now?
Now
it smells good still. I don't know. It's literally been 6 years since I've smoked more. Well, no, a little over 5 years since I smoked. And it still smells good. I mean, it doesn't like... You
just like whiff it and you're like, oh, that smells good, and you just keep it moving.
It's so much more distinct now, though. Like now it's like, I used to be that guy who'd be like, you know what, if I just rip one here on my lunch break at work, nobody's gonna smell it. Now it's like, if somebody's like walks into the other side of the grocery store and just freaking took a hit, I'm like, where is it? Like I know somebody's freaking smoking right now.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I don't smell it and go, ooh, I want to smoke.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things too. It's like when you're doing it all the time, you're like, I can't imagine what it's like not doing it. But then when you're not doing it, like the thought of it's like, it'd be nice to like do that right now, but really you'd be like freaked out. Like not being able to function. It'd be totally different than what your mind like perceives it to be.
I remember the last time I smoked weed and it was the worst fucking thing ever. I was with a friend of mine and we were about to go into Walmart and I literally told him like, yo, I'm just gonna go ahead and wait for you here outside and you just go in there and do whatever you gotta do, and I'll wait for you here. I didn't even want to go into the store. That's how like
Probably like
paranoid
the
I was.
most paranoid
Yeah, it
15
sucked.
minutes of your life.
It sucked.
I follow this guy. You guys know who Logic is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The rapper.
Yeah.
kid who doesn't give a fuck about anybody. I like his persona.
What do you mean, dude? He ain't like that.
No, like he. I heard some interview where he basically. I mean, I'm speaking off the hip here right now, or shooting from the hip, but it was like he really like I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. Fucking fans, I don't give a shit if you fucking like it or not. Like
No.
people. Dude,
You need to watch you need to watch the Netflix thing on him on Rapture episode they did with him. But anyway, he tweeted something like the other day. He was like my therapist really helps me a lot, but there's nothing like rolling a blunt. Like meaning like that's like his therapy and shit.
Yo,
It's funny. I don't know, dude. Like guys, like rap guys. There was like this rap show at the local place.
Oh,
and the guys were smoking weed and they threw like a roach on the ground. I'm just like I don't know, dude. Like I don't.
it's not as appealing.
Whenever
as
I
it
smell
was.
it or see it, I just think like you're a loser, dude.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
But then you look at people who are successful and who
Yeah.
I feel
So
like
it's
there's two different. Yeah.
I was a loser.
Yeah.
When I smoked weed, so that's what I guess I think about.
yeah. I mean, for all my 420 people out there, man, keep it up, keep smoking, do whatever you gotta do. I don't really give a shit, you know what I'm saying? But for me, yeah, I get what you're saying. Though I get what you're saying. Just to touch on Logic, though, I checked out after we talked about him. I think last week I checked him out. Like when you go to Spotify and you listen to like the top songs.
Yeah.
I went through like the top 6. Dude, I'm not impressed, dude. I don't know if it was.
No,
his
I'm not really
songs.
impressed with much of that kind of thing.
Well, no, I like rap.
Occasionally it's
just,
like-
yeah, his. I don't know. It was a top.
He has
6.
I watched the Netflix thing.
Mhm.
They have a whole series on rappers called Rapture, and they they did one with like T.I., they did one with him, they did one with Nas, and I watched his, and like his thing is like he's half black, half white. He had a black father, white mother. And like his whole thing is all about like like he's trying to spread a message of positivity and how like race isn't a thing and how everybody's equal and all this stuff. And that's like what I got out of the documentary. And that's kind of like it kind of like changes how you listen to his music almost when you know a little bit more about him and how he grown up. Like his mom used to like choke him to the point of like just before he passed out because she read somewhere that makes people like extraordinary.
Stronger.
Oh my god, dude! What the
Yeah, like
fuck?
stuff like that. Like watch it. It's pretty cool.
Where does she read this? Where's this
It's
article?
kind of an
Watch it,
ingenious fucking thought.
No,
though.
that's child abuse. I think
Well, it's definitely
Oh,
child abuse,
yeah.
but I'm saying to think that like
But look at him now.
that's true. There might be
Made it.
something.
maybe she was on to something.
Yo,
dude.
made it.
parents out there, start choking your kids.
Start choking your kids, take them to the fucking brink of fucking extinction, and then just let them
just
come
to the
back,
edge
and
of
they'll
death,
be the
man.
greater
Oh,
fucking human that you
dude.
can ever imagine.
This is fucking nuts.
I think I might choke my kids.
This is nuts, dude.
This is like the shortened version of Crane's Corner here.
Yeah.
Yo, so let's get into what we're actually.
Oh, here we go.
Let's get into what we're actually here to freaking do. So the past couple episodes we were doing, like the founders' stories, backstories, and kind of touching on everybody's, history and how we got here. And tonight we say the best for last. We got Andrew tonight, and if you listen to the last two, you kind of get where this is going. We're just gonna again talk about our backstory. So Drew, just to kind of get into your story, what was life like for you growing up? I know you were brought up in Jersey, I believe, the shore.
Yeah, what was life like growing up, or was I brought up? What's the question?
What was life like growing up? And I'm pretty sure you're born or grown up in the shore. So correct me if I'm wrong.
All right, yeah. I grew up in Toms River, which is just inland from Seaside Heights, which most people associate that with, MTV and a lot of the shows they film.
Yeah.
So,
Short
think
style.
about that town and then think about going over the bridge inland and just inland is where I grew up. So, easy access to the beach and the boardwalk and all that stuff that happened over there. So our growing up for me was we always looked forward to summer because we always hung out over there
At the shore.
at the shore. Yeah,
Fist pumping.
not really. Not really. More like surfing, riding my dirt bike, skateboarding, all that type of stuff. Riding my BMX bike behind the gas station, building dirt jumps.
Okay.
That's the kind of stuff that I did like growing up as
So-
like a young kid.
How does it make you feel that like MTV has created this thing that when people hear of your hometown, it immediately is associated with those people on that fucking show?
Yeah, no, because when most people ask you like, where are you from? I say like this, and it's like,
It's
do you
like,
know
oh,
this? Do you know
fuck
XYZ? It's right there, right. So it's like an easy like landmark. It's like I don't care, just because when that whole like thing was going on, like being filmed and stuff like that. I mean, I was in the midst of a weird point in my life.
Wait, was that going on like
I was so
when
fucked up
after
that,
college?
I can't even remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like
I
in
think
between
so.
like it was in between like 07
Yeah.
and like when I moved here. So like
Right.
07 and 2010, something like that.
Yo, I hate
Is when
this
they were-
situation, dude. So bad.
Dude,
The
the
worst.
whole fucking thing.
So yeah, like we would be, like normal, like most of the kids who grew up there, like we would work all day, and then like go to the bars over there, and like you'd see the cameras and shit like that, that they were filming. Some guys would go try to fight them, shit like that. I mean, I was
Just to try
I
to
would
get
just
on.
not.
Yeah.
I would just stay away.
Just to try to get some TV, some airtime.
I would just try to stay away.
So what was your first job?
My first job, I was a busboy in a restaurant in Seaside Park, and it was a bait shop and a breakfast and lunch spot.
Okay.
So they were open like 7 a.m. to like 3 p.m. My mom had met or had a friend who owned it. She owned it. So like I was in there at like 13.
Oh.
I was busting tables, cash money every week, and that was like when I first had the taste of like, earning my own money and like having like, financial freedom, at a young age. I don't remember what I was doing with the money or what, because obviously I had no car. I was probably, saving and just doing whatever my parents told me to do with the money. I can't even really remember, honestly.
Yeah, you weren't. So obviously, it wasn't like money wasn't like the driving factor and like wanting to
No, it was
work.
kind of like it was kind of just like my parents were like, just, you're gonna go work.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too. It was like a good human being like works hard and like that was like more important than
And to like kind of understand the value of money instead of
and there's something different about like free
like
money.
I'm not working
you
to
work
get money
for,
to buy this. I'm working because of the value that it instills in you. So that at a young age I learned that like you can't just.
All right,
Yo,
never
Jesse's
mind.
over here getting it.
Ruining lives.
So mad right now.
Dude,
Yo, Drew's heated.
I'm researching and developing.
That's fine. So like at a young age, I learned, the value of money and hard work, and like, the crazy thing was that you go to work, and I mean, I was probably making, like $7-8 an hour there. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Because this was like before minimum wage was like at where
Probably
it
like
is
6,
now.
yeah.
This was, I was 13, so it was 2000 or 99. So like I was probably making maybe $5 cash. So I'd be working all week or all weekend, and making a couple $100 here and there. But yeah, that was my first job.
And so that was 13 from 13 to about when? Like how long?
Until every summer I worked there.
Okay.
Every summer I worked there. So 13, 14. And then when I was, this changed the game. But when I was 16, I got a job as a lifeguard in the summer over there.
I knew
heard
this
a little
already because I stole a pair of your Ocean Rescue sweatpants.
Yeah, I mean, every year we got like a whole bunch of like shirts, hoodies, bathing suits, all that stuff. And there's a bunch of people who have them, I would assume, just because they're kind of iconic,
I may have even told a girl in college that I was a fucking lifeguard.
Does that work? Like, do girls like that?
I mean, I don't know.
Did it work
I've tried
for
it
you?
all. Yeah, I don't remember that. I just remember probably
Oh, that's funny.
saying that at some point.
Yeah, but now it's not as iconic because now you go to every surf shop or like the wing. What is that? Wings? That like little touristy spot, and they all sell like
Wings?
stuff.
Are you saying wings? Wings?
Yeah, wings.
Yeah, but this stuff
Wings.
said Ocean Rescue.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
it was freaking
It was legit.
legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, no, you can. But yeah, I know the little shore stores, the little $5 T-shirts. Yeah, you could buy that.
no way, dude. They're 20. They're like 20. They're killing it. At these.
Any like tourist spot has a
Yeah.
thing, and you can buy Delray Beach lifeguard
Yep.
T-shirt.
So okay, so what was high school like then for you?
So high school, I was it was like probably the worst 4 years of my life. No, there were some good times and there were some bad times about that I can remember about high school. So I went into it, right? I was in marching band, right? And just like, Jesse talked about band camp in his episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I started in marching band, and really when you do that, you start camp or school before everyone else does.
Okay.
So like I went into high school, like I was already in the school, and a couple weeks before it opened, so I kind of like knew what was going on. But like when you're in something like that, it's weird because like they schedule your classes around that type of thing, and your locker is in a certain wing where all the band kids are. So like kind of like that was like how it started off. Like I was like a band kid.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my thing.
Identity.
Yeah, but you were kind of like out of the stereotypes related to band kids. You were probably one of the cooler.
Whoa,
Of band
I didn't know
kids.
that. Okay.
Wow,
Because
that's
you were
like
the friggin'-
that's a friggin' oxymoron.
Dude,
isn't
you
it?
were the friggin' snare player, fucking drumline guy, the movie with friggin' Nick
I was just about
Cannon.
to say, was this before or after Drumline? When you were
This
in
was
band camp?
way before.
Oh, way
Oh,
before.
okay.
Frick, yeah, dude.
So this was before it was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But Drew
Imagine
was
after
fucking
that.
racking off those.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun. Like my sophomore year, we went to Disney
Ooh.
for the Millennium Parade
Oh, shit,
in
dude.
Disney World, right? So like that was like we got to travel.
That's a far friggin' trip
From
from
Jersey to Florida
Jersey?
to Orlando
Yeah.
with the band. 200 of us kids just
That's
raging.
sick,
Like
yeah.
we had some sick times. We went to Busch Gardens in Virginia.
Okay.
We competed in an indoor competition there.
Oh, so you guys
like,
are really good then.
I mean, yeah, Kevin. Shout out to Kevin Smith, Smitty, Space Turkey.
Yo,
His dad,
Space Turkey.
his dad, who I'm so close with now, he lives down here.
Uh-huh.
He was the director.
Oh,
so
okay.
he kind of like,
Was
took us
Kevin,
on all the
was
trips
Kevin
and
a band
everything.
kid?
Yeah,
He was? What did
Yeah.
he play?
yeah, he played drums too.
Whoa.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude.
So I did that, and then I was also a swimmer, right? So the lifeguarding and kind of like the swimming were kind of like intertwined. So like I was like, I was athletic, but like swimmers didn't have the same kind of like profile that football players did.
Right.
Like if you were on the swim team, it was like a known thing that like you got high and like drank all the time, because like, and then like same thing with the lifeguarding. It was like the party and that whole thing was just like those were like facades that you kind of just fall into, but yeah, so I kind of like blended into different types of groups of people, in high school.
Yeah, me too.
I definitely had a lot of friends who were, academically inclined and were really smart, and I always made fun of them. And I'm just like, I don't understand how you could be so smart and take school so seriously. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I did really well in high school grade wise, but that was just like, it just happened.
Right.
I wasn't trying. I wasn't putting forth effort. I was in like remedial classes, and I got like, I think I graduated like a 3.5 or something like that, and like not like low grade classes, but not like honors classes, somewhere in the middle.
So you weren't in the alternative high school in the back?
Right, the building in the back. No, I was not in that building. No, and like throughout high school, man, like great attendance. Like I was involved in in the band, which helped me structure things and taught me discipline and all that type of stuff. And then after school band practice, swim practice.
Okay.
For a certain time of year, football games on Friday nights, Saturday nights. So like I was super busy.
Right.
In high school, and like I had like awesome friends, and like but then I also hung out with the kids who like smoked weed in the parking lot at lunchtime.
So you were kind of, like I had said, you weren't like you weren't fucking confined to one group. Like you had
No.
job kids.
I was down with.
You were down with fucking everyone.
Whoever was trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
That was the same way I lived my life, dude. In high school, I was freaking all about everybody. You know, I it's like a chameleon effect.
Yeah, but I mean, there was definitely, you know, some like closer friends. There's still actually a couple guys that I talked to from high school. Very few. There's like, you know, maybe like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm. And so after high school, then, so getting to graduating, what was that like? Like the 3 months at like the 3 month period after high school.
Yeah,
I feel
funny
like
story. I didn't have those.
Okay.
I didn't have those 3 months. So my mom had basically said, like, you're going to college.
Okay.
You know, like, you're leaving this area. You're not going to, because like a lot of the people will do, like, in my area did like the community college thing,
right.
where you live at home, go to community college, and you know, you figure it out. My mom was like not having it, you know, whatever. And like I had a hard time getting into colleges. You know, like I wasn't, because my test taking skills, they were bad.
Okay.
I was bad at taking tests, right? So like, you know, school attendance, like I'm there, I'm in it, but just like, I don't know, performing and like studying and all that stuff, like it was never one of my strong suits, right? So I had to go to college for the summer, for the 3 months, to prove to the college that I could get the grades to get into the fall semester.
Yeah.
And I had to get a 2.0.
Wow, dude, that's freaking.
I think you're saying that.
I had to get a 2.0 to get in. I got a 2.2.
Ooh, so you just.
That's just like the story of my life, dude. You know, just skating by.
You fucking made it, dude.
Yeah, I made
you fucking made it.
I made it. You know, and I was mad at my mom for a long time for making me do that, because like I didn't want to do it.
Because you wanted a party for like. Right.
No, putting me into college allowed me to party more. I didn't want to leave home.
Okay.
And I didn't want, like, I had no fucking idea what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I had no fucking idea. I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. I didn't know if I wanted to get a degree. I didn't know if I wanted to study marketing or accounting. Like, I was a fucking 17-year-old kid. You know, I just wanted like a little more time to figure it out, and they thought differently, and I was like, okay, I'll do whatever, you know. That's just what I did growing up. Whatever my parents, you know, told me to do. You know, and I understand that they, you know, and my mom is definitely going to listen to this because she listens to all of them, you know, and it's I'm totally fine with talking about this because we've talked about it in the past. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not mad, I don't hold a resentment about it or anything like that, but it's like, you know, and it's always going to be different when I have, you know, children, if, you know, God deems me fit to be a father or whatever. But I always think that like I would do it differently. You know, I would think that like I would let the, you know, make a decision for yourself what you want to do. But there could be certain stipulations to whatever decision that it is.
Yeah, because what if your kid's like a little shithead and it's like, yeah, maybe you're not fit to make
like,
decisions.
Yeah, but I mean, also at that point in time, like, no, you know, like I was starting to think that like maybe I was starting to teeter on that line of like partying too much, stuff like that. But I mean, I had just graduated high school. Man.
Right.
I was full on like, I was like a model.
The party's at 338 West Street. What was that? Dude, that place. That place was legit, man.
Like, dude, when I was 17 and I graduated high school, man, like I was in great shape, like physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, academically. Like I was in a good place. So, and then when I went to college, it was just more confusion, not knowing what I wanted to do. But then like weird pressure and things, because it was a ton of money, and I had to borrow money from all these places, and you know, and my mom had helped pay for some, and you know, my dad helped pay for some, and you know, I had to pay for some. But at the end of the day, it was all a giant waste. And so I didn't.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's just how I feel.
If you wouldn't have went to college, I would have never met you, and 10 years later, might not have ended up in Florida, dude.
Yeah.
Where life has gotten great for me.
No, I don't think anything in life is a waste. I mean, I guess maybe in the monetary element, I meant it was a waste. Maybe it was a waste of money, I should have said.
Yeah.
Waste of money.
And so, okay, so you...
Because like I'm still paying for that.
Yeah.
and I have no degree.
Wait.
At least even just from the consequences of shit that perspired there.
Right. I got in a whole
Yeah.
bunch of legal trouble, you know, because I was just stupid, you know.
Yeah, but you
I'm still growing as a
saved
person,
my life,
but
dude. You saved my
Save
life
Jesse's life, dude.
by meeting me. So
Yo,
how dare you?
I heard somewhere that you only have 10 years to pay off student loans. Is that correct or is that incorrect?
Call Marty, dude.
If you take out a private loan, then like with a company that's not the government,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't.
Right, okay, okay.
There's no 10-year thing. No.
But government probably.
What you probably heard is that if you don't pay it for X amount of time, like if you ignore it for like 7 years,
There's a forgiveness program.
there's I don't know.
Okay.
That's what
I heard that-
Marty and all those guys were doing there for a while.
Oh,
Curtis
like-
selling, consolidating student loans, like where it's something that's offered basically, from what I understand, for free. So, you know, like he said, there's some time stipulation or something that you meet the requirements, and then they can take an X amount of dollars and soften the blow, I think.
Okay, well, I'll talk to them after, but yeah, no, sorry, I heard that somewhere, but
No, yeah, it's good. I mean, good question because yeah, I mean, like I have another buddy of mine who's the same age as me, you know, 31, 32. He just finished paying off his student loans, and it's
Frenchie?
yeah,
you know,
I'm gonna be
shout out to Josh. I mean, he may or may not be listening to this, but shout out to
Josh.
Josh. Congrats on paying off your student loans. It's
Yeah,
probably a few months
yeah.
back, but
Fuck yeah,
I'm
Josh.
probably gonna be paying for like at least another probably 20 years or something like that.
Yeah, dude, fuck you.
yeah, and I mean, it doesn't, I mean, eventually maybe you get into a place where you can, pay a lump sum or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm still paying money.
And so, okay, so back to the story. So you're just getting into college. So you just passed the 3 month trial, I guess you could call it. So what is that like then? Because I know you kind of touched on it.
So then it's like, oh, you got to pick your major. You got to
Right.
do this. You got to do that. And I'm
What do you
like,
pick?
undeclared.
Oh, you can. So wait, so you just did like the generals
Yeah, I just
Okay.
did all the prerequisites. This is what they
Okay.
call it.
and still doing band stuff. No.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You also
Yeah, living in the dorms. Just being awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
Not knowing anybody in a place, in a state, in a county that I knew nobody. It was like the most awkward thing. It's like high school times like 20.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's like not only do I not know where I am physically in the state,
Yeah.
I don't know a single person. I don't know which roads to turn on. There's no fucking GPS.
At that time.
Like when I used to drive from Jersey to Pennsylvania, and I had the directions written on a piece of paper, like turn on this street. When you see a sign, turn on this street, until I memorized it. I feel old just saying that. There was no fucking GPS on your phone.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy to think about, dude.
Yeah.
It really is now. Like
For real, dude's like, I'll never forget. Like my stepdad wrote down a thing. He's like, it takes 3 hours to get
Yeah.
to get to this point from this point. If you're going 80 miles an hour,
Map
take
quest.
the turnpike to this, to that, to boom.
Dude, you know what though? Like it was probably 2 years after that, so technology was a little more advanced. But when I moved to Arizona, like I had one of those little like shitty Garmin GPS
Yeah,
on the
Garmin's, yeah.
window, and that thing like for an entire year, maybe even 2 years of my life, saved my life because I would have been screwed. Going from PA to Arizona to Nashville, like I had no idea where anything.
And I can even imagine what it would be like to try to use an actual map, like probably 3 years from before.
Now it's like you
Dude.
see what route you're taking, what traffic's like,
But
an
imagine
alternate
like
route, whether
literally
there's
busting,
cops
having
sitting
to pull
there.
over on the side of the road and busting out this huge ass map. And
I'm gonna get my atlas out.
That would have to suck. But okay, so back to the story again. So you're in college now and you're still trying to figure everything out. Are there any major like instances where you're kind of like that's like light bulb goes off where you're like, okay, I kind of am figuring stuff out, or that never happened?
No idea.
No
Total
idea.
disconnect from any future plans or anything that I want to do. I had no idea. I would sit in the the counselor's office and they'd be like, what interests you, this, that. I'm like, selling weed,
Oh, so how long were you in school for, in college?
I did, it was January 2007.
Uh-huh.
So So 2004 to 2007. Summer 2004 to January 2007. It was roughly 2.5 years.
That's a long time to not know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, so it was from 17, but think about it, dude.
Yeah.
From 17 to 19.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I wasn't even done growing physically as a person at 17 years old. Like, I was still fucking, like, you know, growing higher, and like my muscles were growing, like my body, like I was still growing as a human being, like physically, you know. So I don't know. I mean, that's a weird time, regardless, no matter. You know,
what.
yeah, and for me, this is just for me, you know. Like, I don't put down education or anything like that, but like for me to go into that place in time with where I was at, my mindset, my body, and say, here, go figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. I couldn't do it.
Right.
I didn't have the ability to. I lost self-control and started doing alcohol and fucking drugs and all kinds of shit every single night. That was my primary concern for that 2 years, was how can I get high? How can I fucking party? How can I be the last one awake in the house until all fucking dawns, you know, until the sun's coming up?
Yeah.
Like, that was my only concern. How can I get it in? How long can I go? And that's all I gave a shit about.
That's crazy to think about, because I only lasted 3 months doing that. In my
right, I was manipulating.
Yeah.
I was conniving. You know, I found ways and means to get more.
Right,
you know,
I
I sold drugs for a little bit. You know, which ended up I was got in a lot of trouble. You know, and you know, like, I was just a good manipulator.
Yeah,
it's the bottom line.
And so, okay, so now we're at the point where you're like 19ish. What happens after that, or what got you out of college?
So I sold drugs to the cops.
Okay, you know, obviously, hopefully didn't know they were cops, right?
I mean, I don't know.
They weren't wearing their badges, right?
I mean, he could have been.
Okay,
I might have been a little.
Okay,
I might not have seen it.
Okay. That makes sense. That's funny.
Nah, he wasn't wearing a badge. At least over his clothes.
Okay.
So I ended up in the county, did some time in the county. When I went to my official court date, I got, you know, I was in the county for a couple months. I got time served, probation. They made me go home with my parents. The school was like, you can't come back here.
Okay.
Some other kid got in trouble in the case, and like a couple of my friends, like, you know, they tried to beat him up.
Oh, shit.
Wasn't anything serious.
Right.
They just, you know, whatever. It's being kids, and that caused some commotion that allowed. They were like, you're kind of banned.
Right. You're like,
from this place.
Yeah.
You can't come back here, you know, ever again. So and I was on probation for 22 months.
Okay.
And I had to pay $3,000 in restitution and do 200 hours of community service.
Yeah, okay.
So the next 22 months of my life were working shit jobs, fucking hating my life. I had to go pee in a cup every week.
Yep.
Did you have? I was doing community service at the Elks Club or the Moose Lodge or whatever, cleaning up fucking beer and mopping up fucking shit floors. But consequences, my brother.
Did you was probation? Did you have to call like your colors every morning to see if your color was called, or how did that work?
No, I didn't have to call him.
That's how it was for me.
No, I reported once a week.
Oh, so it was legit scheduled every single week. Okay.
Yeah,
See, mine...
And then eventually, like, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once every month, and like, you know, I would tell them. But even then, like, I didn't stop drinking and using drugs. I somehow beat that and manipulated that system too. Which was, I remember going into probation, right? And this was probably halfway through. I stopped at the door before the building and threw up on the side of the building because I drank so much fucking water and took so many weird pills to try to cleanse my system that I couldn't handle it, and I threw up all, and I was like, is this life?
Yeah, that's life.
You know, like, what am I doing?
Yeah. And okay, so you're now okay. Now we're now at the point where you're finishing up with probation. And where are you at that point?
Yeah, I don't know how I made it through that without going back to jail, but I made it through. And I was more fucked up than I'd ever been.
Once you're quote unquote handcuffs were once you were freed.
Oh yeah, bro. Because then it was back on.
Yeah.
It was fully on.
There was no.
It was only half mast while I was on probation. I was still getting it in, but it was half mast.
Yeah.
Right, but why do you think that was? Because like you just had absolutely no direction, not even like, well, maybe I'll figure it out. Like if you're in college sometimes too, you're like, I don't know what I want to do, but like I'm going to college and it's gonna be fun, and then I'll figure it out later. You know, how many people do that off the rip? But like,
Right. A lot of
after
people.
that is like a crippling realization of
Yes, it was devastating to me because like during that 20 months when I was home, you know, in legal trouble, I was in the probationary system and all that stuff, bouncing back and forth between shit job. You know, I had lost my chance. See, but this is the life is fucking crazy and weird how it works out, right? Because I look at it now and I think, who cares that all that happened, right? But at that point in time, I thought as a 19-year-old man that like my life was over,
Right.
because I had lost my chance at the education, right? I had lost a girlfriend. I had lost a spot in a shitty fucking metalcore band that we were playing, you know? And I thought right there that was the end. That was it.
Yeah.
So like mentally, I was in a place where I was depressed. And, you know, I didn't know what to do, you know?
But 19, that was still probation, wasn't it? When you were 19, that's when you were still in probation.
Oh yeah, it was like from 19 to like 21.
20. Okay.
Yeah.
So 21.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay. So now at 21, then. So you're 21 years old, and like you said, you're back full mass. You're probably worse than you've ever been.
Yeah, because once I got off probation and all this shit started happening with the legal system and college and all that stuff, that's when I found the drug that took my emotions, my pain, my feelings, took my soul away.
Yeah.
That's when I found that drug.
Okay.
Right? So when I found that drug, it was like I was good.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit what was going on.
Right.
I didn't care that I had a fucking shit job. I didn't care that I was living in my parents' basement, you know, at 21, 22, not fucking going anywhere. I didn't care about any of that. So I think that I had lost my way in the world, but I had found myself because I didn't feel anything.
Right.
I thought I had found myself.
And so 21 to, because I'm assuming that
That cycle went on for five years.
5 years. Okay.
5 years of fucking living in my parents' basement, working in a fucking pizzeria, just being a fucking lowlife. Drinking every night, you know, online at the methadone clinic. It's, you know, 9 o'clock in the morning for fucking 3 years straight. Trying to do this, trying to do that, just trying to find some fucking way to get my shit cleaned up. And I just couldn't do it.
And
I had no self-control.
And what was the like instance that kind of led you to want to make a change, or did it
I didn't.
happen? Okay.
I didn't give a shit.
So then there had to have been something, I assume that.
Yeah, my mom. She fucking.
Okay.
She said, "Get the fuck out." She had enough of my shit.
Yeah.
She said, "You're going to." Yeah. So, I tried like 3 or 4 times before it actually clicked. Before I went.
And I think that's like important too, because like a lot of people, you know, grow up in different circumstances or whatever, have a different family, different upbringing. But like if you come from a pretty good family and you got like a close relationship with your parents who like, you know, they always want to help you, so like enable you or whatever without even intentionally trying. And then finally when it gets to the point where they're like, someone who's been there your whole life, like don't even want to be around you, you know.
Exactly.
That fucks you up.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and I mean, I had tried a couple times to get it together, you know, for other people, and I just couldn't do it, you know. And really, the last time when it clicked for me, it started off as doing it for someone else, and in the interim, you know, thank God, it had kind of shifted over to I'm doing this for myself finally, because I don't want to die.
Right. And did you have like friends that you grew up with that passed away from that? Like overdose or anything like that?
I actually didn't.
No.
Nah.
Because I know sometimes for some people that's like kind of a wake up call, you know,
Right.
getting people that are close to
I
you.
had overdosed.
Okay, so you did.
I was pretty close to death.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't know anyone close, to me that had passed from that.
So when you finally, like you said, there was a few times that you tried, and now you're finally at the point where you're ready for yourself. Was that still in Jersey or was that down here?
Yeah, no, I was in North Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long were you from that point? How long were you there before you moved here to Florida?
A month.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so towards the end of my stay at this, luxurious facility that I was in, they had 2 pamphlets. One was Florida and one was Minnesota. And I said, I can't fucking go there. I don't have money. I don't have a way to get there. I said, oh, don't worry. We got all that figured out for you.
Yep.
And I said, all right, I don't like fucking snow. I like the beach.
And then they probably had some nice pictures on the pamphlets.
Yeah, kids fucking playing frisbee. And
I remember
volleyball.
that pamphlet. It looked nothing like that.
It never is.
Never is. No, I was sold the same dream, but it worked out.
Yeah, no, I wasn't really sold a dream. I mean, it was pretty straightforward. It was this is a transitional place for you to live. And the crazy thing was that they were like, yeah, like I think it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks were paid for you.
Okay.
The rest, you figure out. So I went. I had transitioned. I traveled 1,000 miles. Same exact situation as Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I'm 25 or 26. 2011. I have no fucking idea where I am. I know not one single person. I have no fucking money. I have some clothes and 2 weeks to find a job and build some kind of fucking life for myself.
It's rough at first.
Rough is an understatement, dude. I remember calling my mom crying because I was so fucking hungry and I had nothing to eat and I had no fucking money. And I said, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to ask you for this, but I need $20 so I can get a sandwich. And she's like, look, if you need money for food, like it's fine. I'll help you. But I had gotten to a point where our relationship wasn't in the best of places, and it's taken a long time to build that trust back. But yeah, rough is an understatement, man.
And how long did it take you to get a job?
2 days.
Awesome. Okay, and what was your first job?
Pizzeria.
So you had experience there.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was at it. Look, I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this story's great. So I'm on my phone on Craigslist or someone's computer in the house. See the ad. I'm like, shit, this place is 10 miles from here. How the fuck am I gonna get 10 miles? So I borrowed $1, $2 from somebody. I said, yo, how do I get here? They said, go down this road to this road, hit the one bus. You get on the bus, boom, it's a straight shot. You get right to the shop. So I took the bus to the shop. I made some pies. Of course, I got the job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got the job. And then I had to take the bus back, right?
Too late.
No, I got on the bus, right? But I had no idea where I was, dude, so I didn't know where to get off. I ended up 10 miles away the other direction from where the house was. I seen a bike on the front of the bus and I said, lady, I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. I said, whose bike is that? There's no one else on this bus. I had went as far as the bus could go, right? There was no other bus stops. So I was the only one on the bus and I saw the bike and she was like, I don't know whose bike that is. And I said, well, I'm really far away from my house. I kind of know where it is. I don't know, like, there has to be another bus. Like, how do I get back there? She's like, honey, you got to get off. Like, yada, yada, yada. I said, okay, so what about the bike?
So let's get back to the bike then.
She said, well, I don't know. I won't look,
She just wanted you off that bus.
What bike?
She wanted you off the bus
bike,
so
dude,
bad.
and I pedaled. So I was like, my first, second day here, dude, completely lost, nowhere to go. But I had the drive and some hustle to just fucking figure it out for myself. For once in my life, I could just go and figure it out. Like, no, I didn't want to work in a fucking pizzeria.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got a job making $9 an hour cash under the table, right? And it was what I needed right there because, I worked a week and then I still had a couple days cushion and then I could start paying my own rent and I could start building my own life again. I didn't want to do that forever, but I ended up, I was there for maybe a year, and it was exactly what I needed.
Right.
Because if I didn't have that, you know, and like, yeah, I always say shit job, but dude, I could still go into a restaurant now and do that if I needed to, but that part of my life gave me that skill and confidence to transition down here. If I didn't have that, then I would be really up Schitt's Creek, or would have been.
Would have been, yeah. And so, okay, so you said you were there for about a year, and now life started to get, I'm assuming.
I had made a like a you know, commitment to myself to like give this thing. I wanted to live a healthy lifestyle for a year, at least a year. 365 days, give it everything I fucking got. If it don't got better, doesn't get better, I'll go back to what I was doing.
And I assume it got better.
It got so much better.
You're still here, so.
It got so much better. Oh man, life is so much easier when you just give yourself a break, you know?
And especially when you have like a bunch of shit and then you lose it all and you start from that point where like you have absolutely nothing, like the little steps and all that shit, it still, no matter if you're working at a pizzeria making fucking $8 an hour, like it feels good as fuck.
Yeah, my pizza making experience was like your cabinet making experience, and what was like your
Trump experience, Trump
golf course.
Yeah.
Golf course. So we all have that. We all have that time frame and that common experience.
Yeah. And so, okay, so you're now, like you said, a year in, you see a little bit of success, you're happier, and you see that what you've done for the past year has provided some sort of evidence of happiness. So now
I was very happy.
So now
I want to point that out because like a lot of people think like, oh, I'm so deep in the fucking hole that like, but listen, when you get to the point where you're so fucking low and you have nothing, right? And then to just go like, you know, 9 months to a year, like your mindset can completely change. You know, if you're willing to do a little bit of work on yourself and get humble and change some shit, like I was very, very happy at that point.
And okay, so now after the year goes by, because I know, like, for example, in my experience, like you were saying, that first year is usually pretty good because you're kind of like, you see a huge dramatic change from where you were at before, not only just physically, but mentally, financially. And at least for myself, that next year, the third year, it starts to kind of plateau a little bit. Yeah. So what was that like for you? Did you plateau at all, or was there?
No, I kept fucking going.
So every year was just.
Yeah. When I got after that first year, I got a air quote real job.
Okay.
A corporate paying job with paid time off and health insurance and fucking swipe cards and parking permits and all this shit. I was a fucking felon. Yeah. 3 felonies. I never thought that shit was possible. Right? So when I did that, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Now I know that like some shit's possible because like before I used those felonies from college, I got arrested 3 felonies. Shit's with me forever.
Right.
In Pennsylvania, they don't have a thing that you can expunge it or get it removed. It's there forever. Like it's a done deal. It's a wrap. Right? So like I internalized that, and I'm like, look, it's just part of who I am now. Like I wear it's my jacket, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But like I don't use that shit as an excuse anymore to hold me back, right? I go into a job interview, they ask me about that shit. I'll tell you straight up. Yeah, I got arrested for selling drugs. Yeah. When I was fucking 17, 18 years old, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Right. You know?
And it's crazy. The same thing with like Vinny's story, you know, like the whole.
Yeah, in the streets to industry, dude. I keep thinking about it. I think about that all the time, dude. I love that shit. It blows my mind that like I built that video for that clip and put it together and like it got like 30 views. Like I couldn't believe that.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't understand, dude.
But for me, it's crazy just to think about like all the people that instead of, you know, like you said, instead of turning it into some sort of like a, you know, not adrenaline, but what's what I'm looking for, like motivation. The people that, like you said, use it as a crutch, and now they blame everything. Like, oh, I can't go get the job because I have this.
I can't do this. I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can play the victim.
Right.
Like I do that a lot. Like in not same circumstances, but I did that a lot my whole life. Like I always like focus on all the bad shit and the shit I didn't do. Even though like in a lot of different areas, I've always like had a lot of potential. You know, and you can sit there and be like, oh, poor me, poor this, but till you like start trying to do something about it, like you're never gonna benefit.
Dude, I love the victim thing because like, dude, when I hear people talk about that shit, I get so fired up because for the longest time, I always pointed outward at every other fucking thing in my life. Like, this happened because of this person, this situation made this happen. It's like, no, motherfucker, I brought this shit on myself because of the choices and decisions that I made.
Yeah.
I'm the one responsible. Once I started thinking like that, everything changed. Everything.
Yeah. I've been going through a similar thing right now at fucking work. There's a guy who's, not doing what's expected of him, and he's a great guy, but at the same time, like he's built this bed, and to me, it's just like it just teaches you what not to do. You know, it's just
I think like in a situation like that, it's a little bit harder because you have to watch what you say and how you say it.
Right.
So like, dude, if people in my life, like personally, like friends or people start playing that shit, I'll try to check them as fast as I can because like if somebody would have did that to me, it would have helped me a little bit. You know, I mean, maybe they were trying to do it to me when I was in the midst. I just was like so fucking self-centered and hard-headed that I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
But like, dude, look at what you're doing.
Right.
Stop fucking worrying about other people's business.
Yeah.
And stop before it gets to the point where now, like, I was just thinking about like the people that are, 70, 80 years old right now, and they're still like their entire lives just play the victim card.
It's poison, dude.
It's insane to think about that. But okay, so just to get back to the story, so now where you're at, to speed up to current status, you spoke on it a little bit in the past, but the fact that you spoke about it a lot, but the fact that the whole thing happened with your work, and just from our personal conversations, I know that was huge, a blessing for you, and now you have all these other opportunities, things that are happening.
Yeah. If
you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, from that, and I'll kind of segue like my story, from where I ended up at that, that 1 year to 2 year mark with that good job, and that was in the treatment industry, right? So helping people achieve what I've achieved in living a clean and healthy lifestyle. From there, I went into sales and phone room stuff, and then kind of transitioned and trickled into like a position where I was doing both, right? So I was working in the recovery industry, or in the treatment field, I guess you could say, and I was intertwining that with sales. So everything up, from those couple years, it kind of molded me and given me an opportunity to work for a company, make the most money that I've ever made in my entire life, a salary, and kind of put me in a place where, I had a team of guys that I was working with, and, it was a really good opportunity, and everything that I did in my life kind of brought me to a point, built up my skill sets, into a point where, I was in a good position, working for a big company. And, things were great. It was one of those things where it was like each year got better. And for me, as a person, mentally, emotionally, physically, got better and better. My career started getting better, and, my paychecks were getting better. Everything was getting better. Everything was moving in a direction that I was very pleased with. Right. Until one day I went in there and they were like, yeah, we don't work here anymore. Just like that. And I had kind of had an inkling that it was coming. But like a lot of my jobs before that were like smaller companies that we were kind of independent. We kind of did our own thing. So I always had like that independence, and like I'm a very hard worker when it comes to, like tasks and things that, you put in front of me. I could, I guess you could say like, I have like a good motivation and good, perspective when it comes to work stuff. Like I like, performing well, but when I had, lost the job and, in the previous episodes, we talked about like giving people power, and they have that whole, thing where you built yourself up, you know, into this position, and you did this for this company, and you know, if they take that away, then what do you have?
Right.
You know, and like I still have stuff. I still learned a lot. You know, I still did a lot. But I was just in a position where I was like, damn, where do I go now?
Yeah.
You know, like what do I do now? But forever grateful for that transition. Yes, because it's been exactly 2 months, 2 months and a couple days since that's happened. And I've just been doing side jobs and things here and there, you know, for money. You know, so, you know, that's another side of the story. But I started the design company, which I've had, you know, I've just been really just practicing things. You know, I've been just filming a lot. You know, and dude, that's been like the coolest part of the process, really, because I've had so much time to self-reflect and like figure out what I really like, dude. And I love video work. Like, there's nothing more that I enjoy doing than video work, and I can just sit in front of the computer working on edits for hours. And when I'm filming, I'm just like so in the moment. So like, the design company that I branded, I can do logo stuff, graphic stuff, web design, but all that stuff feels tedious to me. When I'm filming and editing a video, I just feel like I'm just there. I'm part of the process. Yeah. Vibing with it. So like, and like, I didn't know that 2 months ago.
Right.
But I only got that perspective from doing all of the things. I built a couple websites. I did some graphic design. I'm in these programs, you know, daily. And like the video editing, it speaks to me. Yeah. You know, and like when I watch these guys on YouTube and the shit that they're making, it's amazing. Yeah. You know, like, it's so crazy the opportunities that you have. Like, I follow this guy. I mean, he's got a couple 100,000 subscribers. Dude, he just filmed a commercial for Hyundai. Yeah. Because they found him on social media. They liked his style and shit. They flew him to Hawaii, put him in a new SUV. He filmed it for a week. Dude, like, that type of shit was not possible years and years ago. You think like, oh, how did these guys film this commercial? Oh, they went to Hollywood. They hired some fucking Steven Spielberg guy. No, like, dude, you could be like a freelance guy, you know, video guy or photo guy, and dude, you can get some sick jobs. You know,
it's the same thing with audio work. Yeah, like I've met a bunch of people.
It's all so reachable.
I met a bunch of people like through the union or whatever who like they like live off of networking and freelance through the people you meet in that union. Yeah. Video work too, like the guy's like the head video guy for all the, like if you go to the fairgrounds or whatever, the concerts, there's like the big mega screen because somebody's there like filming. Yeah. He's like, yeah, like freelance through them.
Yeah, it's incredible. And like, and it's also helped me find my worth, right? So like, what do I think I'm worth per hour?
Yeah, that's again.
You know, and like, I love talking about this type of shit because it's like, I know what I was making at my last job, you know, and I can cut that into an hourly wage, and I know what that is. That was the most paying job, the highest, you know, yielding profit, whatever job that I have ever had. I'm worth so much fucking more than that when I do the numbers. Yeah. Right. And now what I want to charge for video work, and now that I know like my skill set, and I'm still, I still have so much to learn, but I know like if somebody wants some work done, I know what I'm charging. Right. Because I know what you're gonna get, and I know what you're gonna benefit from the finished product. You know.
And so if anyone like is listening and they're wanting to get your services, they go to, what was it?
You can go to my website, andrewnyes.com. Okay. My email address is create@andrewnyes.com, and my Instagram is ASNYCZ. So like I've been like trying to just like help small businesses out, you know, like I've done a couple small projects for local businesses in the area. You know, if anyone listening has a small business and like, you know, they want to create a small, you know, 1 to 2 minute clip. Like that's what I've been trying to do. I've been focusing on. It's been helping me. I've been learning a lot, meeting a lot of people, and just filming all kinds of new stuff.
And then it's crazy because that to me it seems like that's like new TV commercials is social media, like small, you know, 1 to 2 minute clips.
That's it, man. And like people don't understand, like there's a lot of value in that. Right. There's a lot of value in that because like when people are scrolling through something and they see something like that, they stop. Right. You know, if it's visually grasping that they'll stop, but mixed in with that, so mixed in with the brand and the design company, like I've learned so much. Like I've learned how to literally start a company from the ground up. I now have a merchant account where I can process credit cards, tax IDs, all that stuff. Like all that stuff I never knew, dude. Like I learned how to do all that stuff like on my own. I didn't pay someone to say, hey, can you set this up for me? Like I did it myself, and I took that, and now we're working on another company, which is in a whole different area. It's going to be like a storefront retail location. And like hopefully in the next episode I'll be able to talk about it a little bit more, because my thing is it's huge. It's a huge life move.
Yeah.
It's like some real commitment heavy type shit, and it's not fully, the deal isn't fully sealed yet, if you want to say it. So I'm waiting for that deal to be fully sealed, and then I'll talk about it all night long.
I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Like, listen, it's one thing to work. Like, I never harp on anyone for working for other people, because I did it for a long time. But when you're building something for yourself, there's a different feeling. Even with the design stuff, the photo video stuff, and figuring out what my worth is hourly, like that to me is like, there's no, you can't put you can't write that shit. You can't read it out of a fucking book. Yeah,
because there's no one else to decide. Like you said, there's no one else to decide.
Yeah, no one's gonna tell me how much. Like I'm gonna tell you how much I cost.
Right.
So but like the retail. Now we're looking. We looked at like commercial real estate. So now I know a little bit about that, and like it's just crazy how things are unfolding, and the opportunities that you have that you never thought that you would have when you actually just let shit unfold the way that it's supposed to. Kind of take your hands out of the mix and kind of just ride with it. Like when I got laid off from my job, I could have fucking argued with the guy. I could have went upside his head. I could have yelled, screamed, caused a fucking scene. You're not doing this to me, yada. Yeah. I said, okay.
All right.
And I walked out because I know from my experience in my life that there's a better plan.
Right.
There's a better path for me to be on.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. And now you're here, man, and I can't wait, man. I'm excited. You told me a little bit about at least what's happening. The whole process. So I'm excited to see what comes from this.
Yeah. I got a couple partners, and of course, my wife is involved with the process, and I couldn't be more happy to have her support through this transition in my I guess you could say I want to say career, but life, and it's all just one thing to me now, which is amazing, dude. Like my career, my life, and like it's all just one thing. They're not separate anymore. Yeah. So it's amazing to have her support through that.
Shout out to Jen.
Yeah, shout out to Jen. She's always listening.
Awesome.
But yeah, man, very, very excited for what's to come.
Excellent, dude. That's about all the questions I have. I mean, we pretty much came up to date. Jess, you have any other questions before we get into Crane's Corner?
No, man. I love the process, Drew.
And now we're getting into the segment that we kind of played with last week. We got Crane's Corner over here.
Yeah, so first off, I'd like to say that Swinson fucked me. We were going to do which may happen again in the future. I don't know. We were going to do a joined Crane's Corner with the Southern Belle, Kyle Swinson. And he did most of the prep work this week and bailed last minute, so fuck you, Kyle. So I just kind of went through, first of all, I went through a couple stories like in the last 20 minutes, and without thinking, I just picked the stuff that interests my brain. And I feel like this says a lot about who I am, because now I'm looking back at the headlines, and well, I'll let you be the judge. So, first of all, this is kind of just crazy to me. Silicon Valley billionaire, dude who's 32 years old, is paying a company $10,000 to kill him and preserve his brain and then upload it to a computer.
That's possible.
Is that that's a real
That's real,
thing?
I think, yeah. Yeah.
So, this kind of reminds me of like a Black Mirror episode,
I've seen one episode.
Like, can you imagine though, like if every single human that died, brain was uploaded? In some cases, this may be like a good thing, like some genius, Bill Gates, motherfucker,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, who's gonna change the world. But like
I wonder
people.
if like your characteristics like stay with that.
I'd be cool with this if like I can then later decide to just like drop you into a file folder where I can no longer hear your thoughts and you're just trapped for all eternity
Yeah, like,
inside a vanilla folder.
But so this is now saying that like people don't have souls, or like is this like
I don't quite understand. Maybe it's like the death, but it really just that's why I don't feel like it's true. It makes no sense. Like
yeah, because
it seems possible just because of like the digital society we have built up through movies.
Why
and,
don't you tell us what website this is coming from?
No, dude,
Yeah,
I can't give up my source.
Let's make sure this is real first. Let's make sure this is legit. First.
I'll tell everyone. Mirror.com.
All right. Well, it's crazy.
You
Second
might as well
story,
be reading from The Onion, dude.
dude. They got the best headlines.
The Onion is legit, dude.
This is what I was talking about, though. I'm saying this is why my brain is suspect because of that one wasn't so bad. It's a thought.
I mean, I've heard of that being like a thing, yeah.
But the rest of my stories tonight, you be the judge. So this one really doesn't go beyond the actual title of the article, just because it's retarded. But religious leader called Penis Baba pulls a car 100 feet using only his manhood while he stuns the crowd.
Oh my god, dude. This gotta be.
First of all,
gotta be fake, dude. Nah,
how are you a religious leader named Penis Baba?
that's what he was born with. What do you mean how? That's just how he was born, dude. He was trying to live.
But there is actually a video. Check it out on Mirror.com.
Yeah,
You'd like to see that?
we gotta do some research on Mirror, dude. We gotta make sure this is legit.
Alright.
It's not legit.
Someone's telling me there's
All right.
a little suspect about this site here.
So, cult founded by a man named Cabby, which believes Jesus is an alien on a pilgrimage to Holy Mountain in Devon.
And what is he about to like? I see the picture. Is he about to like?
Actually, after reading into this story, which is 5 minutes of my life I will never get back, Cabby has since deceased.
He killed himself?
He died in 1997,
What?
but he claimed to have an unusual encounter with Master Jesus at Holdstone.
Yeah, this is definitely.
Cult described as a growing religion. You guys check it out if you're not quite sure about Christianity. And the last but not least story I have.
Drum roll, please.
First of all, I'm going to suggest that every listener, if you've made it this far through Crane's Corner, go to Mirror.com and search this just so you can see the picture/video. First of all, their adjectives are a little suspect as well. Cheeky male gorillas caught getting frisky by shocked photographer at Rotterdam Zoo.
So what is this? Two gorillas doing?
Two cheeky gorillas.
Well, you know what? This is like this
This could be
English London, dude. That's,
we are totally in 2018 because now it is just acceptable apparently for the gorilla race to have male on male sex. Christian, are you looking at this picture?
I'm looking at it, dude. This is real.
They are quite cheeky actually. Now I kind of
Nah,
understand.
dude, this picture's Photoshop, dude.
It's not Photoshop. So everyone else can understand, there is a full-grown male gorilla bending another male over and approaching him from behind. Look at this.
What's wrong with that? It's love, dude. It's
Drew,
love
you
right
seeing
there.
this, dude?
Drew's seeing it.
Gay gorillas
Wow.
in Rotterdam Zoo. And tonight, that is all for Crane's Corner. I want to thank everybody for coming out.
Yeah, so check it out. Listen to it. Give us some feedback if you like Crane's Corner. And stay tuned for what we got next week. Thank you guys for listening.